big story tonight at 5. Former President Donald Trump reportedly calling Milwaukee a, quote, horrible city. His comments getting national attention and coming just weeks before the Republican National Convention comes into town.
12 News political director Matt Smith is live in the newsroom. Matt, Trump reportedly made the comment during a closed-door meeting.
Patrick, a closed-door meeting today with House Republicans. Multiple Republicans tonight now telling me Trump was talking about the election in comments now taking on a life of its own. Did he say Milwaukee, where we are having our convention, is a horrible city?
When it comes to elections.
Tonight, the fallout. Punchbowl News first reporting the comments from former President Donald Trump coming during a closed-door meeting with House Republicans. Congressman Scott Fitzgerald, who was in the room.
That's where the comment came from, that Milwaukee is just terrible. What he was talking about was the elections in Milwaukee. They're concerned about them.
Did anyone from the Wisconsin delegation raise their hand and try to reassure him about the city of Milwaukee and the elections ahead of November?
No, it did devolve kind of in a bigger discussion of.
The reaction instant. The Trump campaign calling the reporting total BS. A spokesperson saying he never said it like how it's been falsely characterized. Congressman Brian Stile first claiming Trump didn't say it at all, then with us this afternoon.
He wasn't talking about the city. He was talking about specific issues in the city.
What context do you place it in? What was he referring to? Was it crime? Was it the elections? I've heard all of the above.
We're having a broad conversation about the challenges we face as a country, in particular the challenges that we've seen in Milwaukee. Just recently, the head of elections in Milwaukee had to be replaced. We've seen challenges with crime. Again, a 9-year-old boy was killed early this morning.
The comments coming just weeks ahead of the Republican National Convention. Construction tonight inside Fiserv Forum underway. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson, a Democrat who pushed to get the convention in Milwaukee.
Well, Donald Trump wants to talk about things that he thinks are horrible. All of us lived through his presidency, so right back at you, buddy. I'm aware that in urban areas there are challenges, right? And it appears that that Donald Trump just does not like cities.
Matt, Trump is holding a campaign event in Racine on Tuesday, and we understand his campaign is keeping a close eye on swing states like Wisconsin. Yeah, so Congressman Fitzgerald told me today when Trump was making and using those comments that he said Milwaukee is one of 19 cities the campaign is watching and that they have concerns with. This a potential preview of some of the arguments we're going to see from the Trump campaign before and after Election Day. 12 News political director Matt Smith live in the newsroom.